Again, yes, UCAN International Academic is presenting to us Mindset for Transforming Leadership Management Relationship Masterclass. And this afternoon and this morning, we are opportuned and be blessed to have one of my greatest mentor in the house, Professor Dr.TPS Sasikura. And he will be sharing with us on patience and tolerance in our leadership. And you, Professor TPS Sasikura.
Namaste. Namaste and thank you, my sister, Dr. Queen Elizabeth. The topic is again mindset for transforming leadership. The relationship matters. Relationship, mindset. We were discussing about emotional intelligence the other day. How do we make sure leaders take responsibility of getting things done? What helps him to make his project very good? Today, when you think about this topic on the other aspect, probably the other aspect is an internalized aspect. How do we make sure somebody really able to do his job of mentoring others, dealing with the people? Ultimately, we should ask what for we are doing all this. The objective and scope of any leadership. It's to make a project happen, an activity happen, something to produce, some service to provide. That's what is business. Business are only of this type. I have to give my service to the public. I have to give my product which is in some form. So, looking at from the management aspect of running a factory or relationship between people in any institution, there are 5 factors which happens. Now, I am being invited by people for discussions and talks and lectures. My aspect happens because I do a marketing. Probably people talk about me or somebody talk about me, somebody hear me. Some people, what do? They invest money and then make money out of it. They make their own profile, they make their own website, they start talking to people, canvas, make marketing people to so that the internet, whenever you search on a topic, your name comes first. So there is a marketing strategy which requires money. And we use all the gadgets around us. That means we need the help of machine. So everything in the world, when business or project which involves 5M, that is the basic principle of business. That can be man, material, mission, market, and money. So this 5M is the aspect in which everything happens. So now ask the question, who is important here? Material is important, mission is important, market is important, money is important, or the 5th factor or the first factor, man is important. Most important is individual, people. Without that, all these are waste. I got a great fame, but I don't have anybody to share it. What is the purpose of my fame? Right? I have got an internet connection, I have got a mission, but I have nobody to contact in this world. I have an email address, I have a website, but nobody is looking at it. What is the purpose of all my activity on the mission? Somebody has to see that, right? When somebody seeing is not important. That person should acknowledge and contact me back. My sister is reading my phone number. For last 2 years, how many people contacted using that phone number? Is there anybody who looked at it very seriously? I have seen a lot of people introducing me, But I have not seen somebody showing my website on the screen and then introducing me. Last time, that is what my sister did. I was thinking how somebody can think about like this, right? See, that means I want to do something different than normal. Normally people get some details and then keep reading it. Oh, let me do it slightly different, because I said, don't introduce me, don't use these details. So best thing is to show my, so one aspect is taken and then put it there. That is becoming different. You want it to be different, whether the other person is accepting that or it's not acceptable to me. You are making a product slightly different from the normal. You are making a classroom slightly different from the other. I generally do that when I go to a function. In the generally what happens, the middle of the side, two sides people will sit, in the center there will be a gap. That is where people have to enter and then go both side and sit. I said, change this, put the people in the center. So when I am looking, I am seeing all of them, and let people come from both sides and then join, so that the mobility is not in the front. So when I take a camera picture, the center will become always dense. So somebody may accept it, somebody may not accept it. There is an organizer who says, yeah, what is this man disturbing my arrangement? So when I make a difference, whether it is good or bad, whether it's acceptable or not, all that, whether my lecture is important or me as a person, the organizer as a person, whether you are in harmony or not, whether that acceptance is not or not, is what is called a tolerance. You have to tolerate me, because you have to tolerate me to see the product, because I have an objective, you have an objective. Let us see whether the objective is met. I am doing it in different style, not in your style. Why am I not doing in your style? Because I think this is something which I can experiment. I am a different person, you are a different person. You have to tolerate me in the way in which I am there. So accepting me as a different person is what is called tolerance. So what will happen? You will get adjusted. Getting adjusted in all the situations is what is essential for a leader. Then only you can create a relationship. You strictly say, this is what I want, I don't change. Then what happens is, there will be a lot of misharmony. When there is a misharmony, sound doesn't come together. Sound becomes high only when people sing together. The wave in which the sound comes, if I am saying sound, I start and then somebody else starts slightly different, what will happen? There will be disharmony. Disharmony can be non-rhythmic. So I should take my people along with me in the wave in which we are patterned, but I must accept that sound can be different, so that there is a music which comes. If everybody sings the same way, there is no music. Actually, music comes only when, otherwise it's only one person repeating, doesn't look good. You should have difference. I have a garden in which every flower is same. It is not called a garden. Garden is always multiple colors, multiple flowers, multiple items. Otherwise it is called a farm, or a, maybe you have only one variety. A forest is beautiful. That is because you have variety of all the different trees, all the different animals, different sound. If it is not there, you have a plantation. The word itself is different. It's a planter. Planter is just a businessman. I want to keep a variety of things, only one sort of thing. Yeah, it is done commercially. But life is not commercial. Life is always with varieties. I don't like a food with only one item. When we have a party, we have variety of food. Why do you want a variety of food? Only one food is enough. Then it doesn't become a party. It doesn't become celebration. Celebrations are always with multiple items. The drum is one good enough? No. When you have an orchestra, you have variety of instruments. So variety, difference is what is that everybody enjoys ultimately. So in the society, don't expect everybody to be in the same style. Everybody has to be different. I'm a brigadier. Say I'm in the top of my brigade. I have got a group of people. Why am I in the leadership? If my subordinate also can do the same thing what I can do, he also will become supervisor, right? I am on the top and somebody is below because he is little less in capacity, ability. Therefore, I am on the top. So accept him and don't expect him to do the same thing what I am doing. It's always must. When I am asking somebody, yeah, you do this, you have to, I give a material and say you have to bind this and make perfectly a package. When he is not able to do, I understand. I am asking him to do because I am the master. He is my person who is supporting me. Suppose he has all the ability to do as I am doing, he would have become master. Why he is becoming my subordinate? Because he has got little less of ability in doing things. So what should I do? Even if it is not the perfect, I absorb it, I accept it and say, yes, well done. Not well done in the way I want it, but well done in his capacity, what he can do, he has done well. That appreciation is accepting people at different levels. That needs a lot of tolerance. So I work with multiple number of people. Don't expect everybody to do the same style, same way. Man is different because he is not a mission. He is not a material. Therefore, in 5M, money can come from different places, different bank, money remains same. Market can remain same. Mission can remain same. Material can remain same. But what cannot become same is always people. They have their own style. Absorb, accept everybody's style. But who is a leader? Oh, this man is very good. He knows how to operate a mission. Put him to operate the mission. Oh, I know this man can speak about the product. Let me put him in marketing. So don't expect the marketing person to work on the mission. Don't expect the person who can bring money from the bank. Don't give him the job of transporting material from one place to another place. This needs two different ability. So when you look at people, you know this person can do this person can do this person cannot do this person cannot do this. Putting them in different place based on their efficiency, their ability, their capacity, their expertise is what makes a leader a real leader. So leader cannot expect everybody to be same. So seeing them different and making use of them different in different ways is what is exactly the ability of tolerance. I am tolerating people around me. I am not upset. If you don't have the tolerancy is very low, what happens? You become upset so fast. When you are upset, what will happen? Not you alone. When you are a leader, the leader become upset, everybody becomes upset. The whole setup, the whole people, if the owner of the company become upset, the whole company is upset. So as a leader, you should have a lot of tolerance. Allow people, identify the efficiency of people, use them in the right way, recognize the limitations of the people, compare one to another one based on their ability, not with the same scale. Don't measure everybody with the same scale. Diversity is what is essential, I was telling. So some people have got some value, another person has some value. His skill is different, another person has got different skill. Understand this difference, diversity. Understand how they are. Accept them as they are. Your mother, your father, brought up in a different culture, different place, different situation. They are not educated in the place where you got educated. I have been living in a city. I brought up my children in a city, but my parents were from a village. They brought up from my village. So don't compare This is what the quality my parents had. My children also should have. No, you can't. The human factor, the emotional factor, the leadership factor, the value factor, the cultural content, the socio-economic situations, political situations, everything is different. If you don't understand this difference, what happens is when I go to a city, I expect what I got in a village. And small things I become upset. My day will get spoiled. I will not be able to work. So, most essential, understand the situation, understand the culture, cultivate the patience and tolerance. Because you should have the ability to accommodate people, understand people, adjust with the situations. What is patience? In one word, assume that I wanted to tell what is patience. I am standing in a queue. The first person is served, second person is served, third person is served. I am on the fourth. Why should I think that no, I am not able to stay here? I must go the first. I always want to be in the front of the queue. No, waiting in the queue is patience. Waiting in any queue is patience. I should have the patience to wait for my turn to come. If I don't have the patience for my turn to come, you are not in a large gathering. You are not in a place where people are there with you. There are people with you. That means I must be able to have patience to wait. Suppose I am being called for a lecture. I am the only one called. No problem. I am the one who is called. When that is not a great audience. Actually, that is not a great program. There has to be a lot of people in the queue, right? So if there are a lot of people in the queue, that means the program is great. When there are a lot of people in the queue, why do you want to be always the first? You be at the last. Have the patience. Have the patience to see that somebody else is talking. I want to listen to them. Let me look at it. Why you don't have patience? Because you have something else to do. There also you have no patience. I have seen a lot of people coming for a talk and then finish. Immediately they go. Means what? You don't have patience to listen to somebody. When you don't have patience to listen to somebody, you know why God has given 2 ears and 1 tongue? You have to have at least listen to 2 people, then only you can talk. God has not given two tongue and then 1 ear to you. You should always listen twice before talking. And building that tolerance, understanding situations. Understanding situations will tell, yeah, there is somebody else in front of me. Let me listen to him. Let me, a senior person than me, give him the first chance. No. Let him be a young boy, give him a chance because he is younger than me. See, you can have different logic. The logic is in your mind. So cultivate the habit of creating logic in which you adjust with the situations, understand, respond, and don't have prejudice saying that no, there is a bias. Why there is a bias? I am known to somebody XYZ based on the way I behave. We are not no somebody who is known from the earlier past life. Only in this life, during the last few years, when we were dealing with each other, we had a relationship, and that relationship made somebody else to evaluate me. And based on the evaluation, I get respect, I may not get respect, somebody else get a respect, somebody else may not get a respect. So the way I am behaving is what gives me the empowerment. It is all self-created. So in a team, in a group, identifying the potential of this person depends on the words which he uses, the way he expresses. So recognize that is the strength which he has. This is the weakness he has. Identify that and put him in the right place. That means people keep saying there should not be any discrimination. Actually, there has to be discrimination. The discrimination is what I evaluate somebody and then put him in the right places with the discrimination. Discrimination is not discarding people. Identifying what is good, what is bad, what is his strength, what is not his strength is what is discrimination. I discriminate. that ability of identifying what is good in someone, what is not good in someone. Otherwise, if you don't discriminate, how do you vote for somebody to become a prime minister? How are you electing somebody with to elect a president? You are discriminating. I can only have one vote. I have to vote. So what should I do? I should evaluate people. And this is my favorite person. This is not my favorite person. So what is wrong in identifying what is the potential ability one has, what is not the potential ability one has? Suppose somebody fails and then he doesn't become a prime minister, he doesn't become a president. So what is his job? Election is not won. After a few years, another election will come. Have the patience, work with the people, have tolerance, create relationship. And that understanding people more and more, mingling with them, talking to them, identify those problems, find solutions for them, mentor them well. Every leader has an ability to mentor and coach. Create a supportive method. That is what I should do. I should have number of people working for me. If I am a political leader, I should have number of people working for me who are all creating support environment for me, who will, for which I will have to give some delegations. I tell that you are the supporting person, you will get this position in my district, you will get this position in my block, you will get this position in my county. Give him a trust. When you do that, are you not selecting from 100 people one person? Assume that you are the chief executive officer of the company, CEO of the company. You cannot make everybody manager. You find somebody who is supporting you, who can mentor the rest of the people in the company. That means you are identifying people. Suppose you don't get identified as an individual who is in the lower grade. What should I do? I should have patience, wait, work, show my ability. That environment the leader has to create. So creating a supportive environment doesn't mean I support everybody in the world. I will pick up somebody who needs to be put at the right level so that he in turn will create a supportive environment for others. So I discriminate people, I evaluate people, I judge people, I compare people, I understand people and give delegations and empower them. And I give them confidence. Yes, you are eligible to do this. I give you full autonomy. You can decide in your group what is to be done. And some people I find, oh, this leader, I am not finding somebody who is really good. So what should I do? I don't give full autonomy to him. I mentor them little more. I give them little more voluntary job to understand whether they are good or not. But sometimes they are vulnerable to some problems. The relationship with the rest of the people are not good. So what do? I cannot just remove him unless I get a replacement. So I should have tolerance. I should have patience to look at him until I can find some other person who can be placed in that position. I'm actually tolerating. Assume that you have a company in the serving desk, a receptionist is there, and unless you find a better person to put there, yeah, I should survive. Let this person be there. It is not that I'm happy with that person who is working there. Have tolerance with all the problems. Also, let me look at everyday morning. I want to replace is what I wanted to do, but unless I find somebody else better than this, what should I do? Yeah, I should have the patience, wait for getting somebody good and tolerate this person as long as I can. But more important, give them little more comfort, give them little more support, put them up. That is what the leader should do. So even if I am not accepting somebody, probably I will have to be so diplomatic and talk to them so nicely that they don't feel that what I have in mind is coming to them. I've seen most of the time my sister Elizabeth have got a lot of diplomatic relationship. Correct? Probably somewhere she has to stop somebody talking. She will not say, yeah, good enough, stop. No, she will say, you have lot of things to say. I'm going to call it tomorrow. See, it indirectly means it is your time. Stop. Please stop. Correct. See, the tolerance is there. 20 minutes is the time given to talk. See, dealing with the 10 people with a great leadership quality is how diplomatically you will talk to people. Don't tell them what you are talking is not, what is the content, the lecture is this, topic is this, but you are not talking that. You will say, you have a lot of stuff, but tomorrow put another heading and come back. That means this is not the topic which you're talking. I've been attending for last 3 years. What happened? See, sometimes you have a matrix, you have a column and row in which you have to put everything together. Put those stuff in the right place, in the right words, in the right time. That systematic everybody is not. So our aim probably is, that is what we do. We tell them that, yeah, you take from this item from this place and put it here. This is not the time it has to be. You have to put it in the different matrix. That's why it is called, people are to be put in matrix form. I'm a mathematician. Matrix is rows and columns. I should not speak whatever I know in whichever place I go. Correct? There are some people, they keep on talking same subject. Whichever topic you give, immediately they will keep talking about what they know, not contextually what is required. That is called, people are not beyond the matrix. That's a great word to be used. I am beyond the matrix. Matrix is rows and columns. Put them in a table. You have an Excel sheet in which the life story of somebody has to be there, the year has to be put. At teenage, you have to behave in some fashion. Elderly people have to behave in some other fashion. So some people are beyond the matrices. Their talk is sometime. So what is that you require when you have to arrange such a program? It is not that simple. You have to identify people, give them time. When somebody asks question, there are some people, no, without a question they cannot, and they don't have a question, they create questions unnecessarily. See, you should have question where you wanted to know. That wanted to know has to be not when somebody is talking. Assume that I make a small grammatical mistake. There are some people who, oh, this is what he made a mistake. All the rest of the lecture, they don't listen. They wanted to only give that because you don't have a tolerance. He has got some knowledge. You have gone out of the knowledge box he has got. He cannot tolerate. He will tell you, yeah, you did a mistake in the beginning. But after that, you corrected it. That he don't listen. Why he don't listen? Because he was only thinking about, when should I tell this? He is so eager to push his views. Therefore, what happens is the rest of the things goes out of his brain. That is also because you don't put them into writing. People don't have the habit of writing. If you don't have the habit of writing, putting them into the right boxes, what happens is you make the whole thing a mess. So success is for such people who has the tolerance is categorizing into different group, different part. Growth comes only when you become so systematic and understand, this is my milestone. I have to stay. Everybody cannot get promoted 1 year. Next year, don't expect to become manager. Next year, next month, I want senior manager. No, you cannot. There are milestones in life. You have to spend this many number of years, then only you can have. You should have that patience. Suppose I contest for Prime Minister's election and then I become a Prime Minister. I should have patience. Next 4 years, next 3 years, next 2 years. Let somebody else do the job. Let me watch. Let me look at what he's doing. Identify my views carefully. Create that. That is my milestone. Celebrate and keep your milestones big and small. What is achievable, when I should push it, when I should not push it. All that has to be there. If that is not there, even from listening to a lecture to contesting a president's election, same patience. If I don't have patience, I am spoiling my brain with the same thoughts, repeatedly doing the same thoughts many number of times. And this is a great culture in adaptation, learning. Only when you get adapted to situations, you can learn. See, there is a great story. Somebody was standing in a railway station, and I have a friend of mine. I kept on talking about world problems around and all that. And I was complaining the train is coming late all the time. It should have come by now. The train doesn't keep its time. All that was told. And immediately when train came, the person jumped into the train and then the train went. And the other person, The ex person who was standing in the platform was thinking, why this person has got into the train? He would have gone in the another train. It is me who has to go to the other train. See, the train got swapped because my attention was not where I am going, what I am doing. My attention was totally lost. My objective is lost. My scope is lost. My focus is lost. Therefore, what will happen? You catch a train which is supposed to be caught by somebody else. You get into a wrong train, and the other person, because this person is getting into the train, the other person thought he is right. So when your company is not good, what happens is you are not systematic, you are not watching the time, you are not watching for you don't have patience. You don't even listen to somebody else. Where are you going? Why are you going? No, this is my train. He jumped inside. The other person said, wait, it is not your train, it's my train. The other person also get confused. So if you are a leader, you should not confuse people. When do you get confused? When you don't have patience. When you have patience, there is no confusion. When you have tolerance, your brain will work perfectly. When you don't have tolerance, the brain doesn't work. That is why somebody is asking a time. What is the time now? No problem, you can give the time. But assume you are in a hurry. You don't have time. When somebody is asking you, what is the time now? You will not be able to answer it because you don't have time. You are in a hurry. You are totally worried. So I keep saying, when you are totally worried, your mind is upset. When somebody asks you a small help, you become totally upset. So tolerance comes only when you are systematic, you have sufficient time in your life. Understand, the product is not important, the material used for producing is not important, my money spent on that item is not important. More important is the person who is coming. Now, sometime when you go to somebody's house as a guest, and the host, somebody is supposed to feed you, they are very busy cooking in the kitchen. Why? Because they were not systematic. They were not ready with all the food to prepare before the guest comes. Or probably the guest reached your house much before, not punctual in the life. What happens? You call somebody at 5 o'clock, he comes at 4:30, 4 o'clock itself. What will happen? You are supposed to arrange your house, you are supposed to prepare food, you have to get the items, set everything right, finished. Why this person went 1 hour early? Because I don't have patience. Understood? Now what should I do? When the guest is at home, you have to spend time in cooking. So you can't talk to them, you can't take care of them, you can't ask them to say, sit the place, and then you cannot have a conversation because you are busy otherwise. You are not even dressed up well to receive your guest. What will happen? Now assume that I have gone without patience, I have gone. Now what should I have? I should have tolerance. I should not demand that no, before I reach, people should have got everything and set. How do I say that? Because I have not been punctual. So this is a beautiful topic in which when you look at it from a small party attending a program, or maybe a great company producing a product, to a political situation, patience and tolerance lead the environment, empathy, culture, nurturing with all that ability which you have to take the team member together is most essential. If you don't have, what happens is you become upset. The word which is you become upset. You become stressed. I am called for a lecture at 4:30. If I am not able to reach at 4:30, I should have sent a message saying that I will delay little more. Right? So that the other person can prepare. So being systematic. Being systematic is very, very essential. If you're not systematic, that in Sanskrit, in our language, it is called niyama. Niyama is, the other word for niyama is law. What is the law? The relationship is the law. I know you are waiting. Let me give a advance notice that I will not be able to join before this time, and exactly that time be punctual, receive there, but assume that I gave a time 3 o'clock, but I was ready at 2:30 and joined at 2:30. Again, making people upset. That also should not happen. Because somebody has to be ready. There is a timetable created. There is a matrix created. Most important. I believe always creating a matrix, and that matrix is essential. Otherwise, your cupboard in which you keep the dress, you have a library in which books are kept. That is kept in a matrix form. This subject, this row. This subject in this place. Otherwise, what happens? It becomes chaotic. When it is chaotic, finished. Everybody has problem. The people who are receiving and giving and watching, everything becomes problematic. Systematic life is most essential. When you are systematic, that means you have kept the time, and then the other person also understand this is the time given, this is what I should put. So the tolerance becomes part of my culture, patience becomes part of my culture. Now you can see in many places you don't have to stand in the queue. I said, when somebody is in my front, somebody is behind, there is a problem. That is why in most of the places token is given. In the bank, what they do, they don't expect people to stand in the queue. There is a display in which your number will come, you have to go there, and then hospitals, the number is displayed, you have to go there. So you know, oh, this number is this much, so I have to give another 4. So you know this much time is taken, so after 20 minutes only I have got. So that means notice is given to me. A schedule is kept and then distributed, then you know this is the time given to them. So that prepare yourself to the situations. When you are systematic, what happens is you prepare yourself to the situations. A leader's quality is to make their subordinates to prepare the situation, prepare for the situations. That is what is called leading the people for the opportunity based on the skill what they have, based on what is that product which I have to create, with the human touch. This patience, tolerance, all these are human touch. Therefore, this is a very, very impactful topic for those people who want to know the human resource planning. That is why I said I want to replace a receptionist. I must find out that. When I have to do a business, there is a great topic in business management. Understand the behavior of the customer. If I don't understand the behavior of the customer, I will become a failure. So when you are arranging a program, the speakers, the listeners, they're all my customers. I am connecting them together. When I am running a company, I am producing a product. So the supplier is my company. My customer is the people who are coming to buy these items. I must know what they expect, what is that I can give. In a political situation, government is the institution. The people are the customers, and I am the leader who connects the government, the institution to the people. Everywhere you can see these relationship maintenance is what is most essential. That is where the transforming relationships, understanding the situations, in which form, what I have to fix it at what level, is the matrix form in which I have to put things at the right place in the right person. That ability is what is required for a leader. Amandram aksharam nasti, nasti moolam anaushadam, ayogya purusho nasti, yojagaha tatra durlabha. A leader is one who can understand who has to be put at the right place, where, when, why, how things have to happen. Where, when, why, how things have to happen. That ability is what is required. A poet can become a poet only when the nice words are put together to become a rhythmic poem. It has to give the meaning. Contextually, I must use those words so that the reader becomes happy. A leader's job is like a poetical job. I must put the people in the right place so that it makes the rhythm. In a music composition, my job is to place all the instruments in the right style so that it has got a rhythm. People are able to enjoy the music. My ability to conduct a party when somebody is coming as a guest in my house, I am calling somebody. My job is to see that everything is in place much before the people come, so that they don't have to wait for something. But somebody comes quite early. If I am a leader, my job is to find out how am I going to entertain him. That is why when somebody is called for a party, you have a music also. Music trip is also available. Not that music trip comes after the party, not during the party. The musicians are ready much before the party. So what will happen? As a host, I have to only ask him, sit there and then listen to the music. The food will be ready after some time. That means I am making him to enjoy, taking care of him for the time, so that he gets adjusted to the situations, and maybe somebody else will come. They will have a company to talk to each other. The time token is given to people when either I'm a doctor or in a bank. When customers are in queue, what do? Is I put them in queue, so that when the number comes, you can go there and attend. These are all most essential part of everyday management, whether it is from a small activity which you are doing, or maybe the greatest activity which people are doing. Creating trust, identifying the second leadership, identifying the leadership where I know somebody can be replaced. Until then, have sufficient patience to see that, oh, this much only I can expect. So accepting him as he is, accepting people as it is. I am able to assess this person can do this, so let me give that job to him. This person can do this much, so let me add some more job to him. Unless I know the depth of the pond, the depth of the river, I should not put somebody into the water without assessing what is the skill, the swimming skill he has. If I just put somebody in water without assessing the swimming skill, if there is an underwater current, what will happen? The fellow will be off. So I must have the ability to assess situations. I must have the ability to find out what somebody can do. It needs lot of interaction. So a leader's quality is to assess people. To assess people, he need to have patience. He must understand the what is that I have to give to this person. He must have tolerance, because if I cannot get somebody who is fit for that, until I get somebody who is exactly possibly can be replaced, I must have him at this place where even though he is not that capable, put him on the job. That means adjusting with the situations, adjusting with the people, adjusting with the capacity. Don't ever expect, a leader should not expect somebody working under him, a follower. Leader is one, follower is another one. Don't expect the follower at the level of you. If you think that he is in your level, understand he should have been the leader. When I give a job to somebody, understand he cannot do as I expect, but at his level he can do as best as he can. I must appreciate him and then say that, yeah, you have done well. And that appreciation comes only when you have the tolerance in. There is always a the measurement of quality of product is measured 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma, etc. So what is 1 sigma? 1/3 of the product can be wrong. What is 2 sigma? 1/6 of the product can be wrong. What is the minimum? I am saying just like that. It's not the right method of statistics. If I know that this product is produced by this company, this is the cost of the product for which I am paying high because it's 3 sigma level. I am paying less. What should I expect? I expect only that much. Maybe I'll stop by saying one more. Assume that I go to a forest and then keep staying in a forest, deep forest. Don't expect a 5-star hotel there, because I have decided to stay in a forest. When I decide to stay in a forest, I must understand the forest has all the problems. When I go to a market, I am going to a railway station. Let me not expect that railway station is a silent place. Railway station, there are plenty of people coming. In a city, there are a lot of people coming. In a market, there are a lot of people coming. So let me not expect a silent, serene place in a market. So my expectation is high. I will lose my patience. I will not have tolerance. I'll say, what a noise is this? When somebody complains a lot of noise, I keep saying, you are not in a temple. You are not in a church. You are in a market. Understand? You are in a market. Accept market as it is. And when you go to a church, if there is a small disturbance and noise, you should tell them this is not a market. Correct. You should also tell who is a leader, who knows where what should happen. Because you are a person who goes for no trekking, and I can stay in a small hostel, adjust with the 10 people in a small tent. But that doesn't mean when I go to a five-star hotel, adjust please. No, I am in a five-star hotel. I am paying this much. This is the minimum facility I should have. That is why you are given a five-star or a four-star or a three-star or a two-star. That means they have categorized and put into different and assume that what do I expect in America, I should not expect in Africa. What do I expect in Africa, I should not expect in India. Understood? So my expectations, my anticipation, my matrix, put them into the real matrix and say, this is what happens here. Let me get. I'm happy with that. Don't expect in a rainy season, you go without umbrella and say that, yeah, what a bad rain. Rain is not bad. You are bad. You are not prepared for that. And there is a saying, I'll tell you, most of the people in India keep saying, a warm welcome to DrTPS. I keep saying, warm welcome is a terminology used in cold countries. I am in a 40-degree and somebody says warm welcome. I keep saying, why are you saying warm welcome? This is totally hot. I am sweating and you are adding warm to that. Give me a cold welcome. Icy welcome. Correct. That means you don't understand the situations. The whole essence is to understand. In a winter season, when somebody comes, don't welcome with warm welcome. Or what is that you require in a summer season? You should welcome them with a chilly welcome. Correct. This is most essential. Understand the situations. A leader is one who understands situations. Is what I have to tell. I think good enough. I can add more examples, but I think everybody has got that wisdom, that ability, that intelligence to add their own examples and then see. I'm only giving generic statements, but I thought I should add some examples so that you understand why am I talking about situation, knowing the place, putting the matrix. This is what I mean by all the theory what I gave. And
Amazing.
that is more important. Yeah. Thank you.
Sometimes we serious, but
I
today
think good
is
enough. I spoke
you are
enough.
more calmer. Maybe because you just come back from a trip, so you make us relax and laugh a bit today. But really, that is very important. I never knew this area because I mean I must be saying that that's the area myself also needs to work on, because I've worked for so many directors. I've worked for so many directors, and then later on I became director of my own company as well as running shops and offices and markets. So I had a lot of people working under me, and sometimes we can be too carried away, or too forgetting that we are not equal. We are not equal, and everyone has their level. Yeah, so we need to understand that. But sometimes we leaders, we easily frustrated that we give a task to somebody, or we expect some certain level from somebody, and the person is not meeting that level. And sometimes we can feel frustrated. But with the teachings of today, it gives me better understanding, clearer, that is we are all different. For example, our experiences are different. I mean, my mentor has probably more than 50 years experience of all these teachings and philosophy and other things like that. Maybe my own experience is just lesser than that. You understand? So, Professor TPS will not, with the teaching you are giving me today, you are not expecting me to operate in your level. You know, the same thing happens that I mean, other people as well, especially the young ones, they cannot expect. I mean, we don't expect them to operate in our levels, and sometimes we forget that we were there before we reach where we are. It's because we've developed ourselves. That is why we are where we are today. And they are still crawling. No matter the position you place them, no matter the title they have, they are still crawling and walking. And we need to exercise patience with them. But the other hand, sir, I have a question. A young person has a dream, so ambitious. They want to do everything. They had that dream, they have that vision they want to achieve or fulfill. But I don't see traces of patience. How do you encourage or mentor them in that area?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. What I do is, all the people, youngsters who come to me, I keep saying, today is 29th July 2024. Draw a line and then write today's date. From 3 months from now, what do you expect you to be? We have to have a milestone. That's what the word I used. Create a milestone of yourself. Next 6 months, I am going to be like this. Next 1 year, I am going to be like this. Every project, I was part of the Department of Space of India, ISRO. I was in the Directorate of Program Planning and Project Management. Program planning. I should plan my programs like this so that I know how to take my project up. I am a company owner. I must know in next 3 months I am going to grow this business like this. Next 6 months I am going to grow like this. After 6 months there is a drop down because the season is not very good. Put all that in paper. So if I am able to put that, my expectation, my performance. First I should have an expectation, then only I can evaluate my performance. Assume I want to put up my weight. What should I do? I must first find out how much I am weighing today. Then plan my lifestyle. Whether I should have every day 1 egg or 2 eggs. Without planning, how do I make a difference after 3 months or after 4 months? I want to become the millionaire. What should I do? Plan, this is what I should do. This is how I should grow. There has been an expectation curve first, then a performance curve. Evaluate every time what is the gap. And that gap is what we should have. People don't have. They don't even write down. Generally, what do I do when people come to me saying that I want to become an engineer, I want to study this? Yes, don't say that I want to become an engineer, I want to study this. After that, what you want? After 4 years, what you want to become, you should start preparing now. Not the last year. After passing the exam, what do I do? No. Prepare now itself. If I have to go there, so you write down. This is what I want. What is the skill requirement for that? What are the opportunities which are going to come? And therefore, this is what I should do. And I make people to write down this and then paste it, like make a chart paper, put it on your table, reading table every day. And I keep telling, you are thinking, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Write down what is that is lacking in me, what skill I have to achieve. Suppose you have got, sometime what happens in Indian situation, parents are too much demanding. They will keep telling, you are not doing this, you are doing this, why are you doing this? So many questions will come. Write down all the questions there and tell them, this is what I want, this is what my father is asking me to do. Will I be able to do it? Will I be able to satisfy my father? Will I be able to satisfy my mother? Why are they demanding? Write down all this. Assume that somebody is keep on scolding me. Write down all the scolding also I keep saying. Somebody says, you are a stupid fellow. Right there. My father says I am a stupid fellow. My mother says I am useless. Write down. Tell your father and mother I have written down that every day I am reading. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. I will read this every day. Don't waste your time. Don't come to me with this word every day morning. Sometimes writing down makes you think very carefully. When I said matrix, that is what it is. Every one of us have got a lot of relatives. All of them, my friends, my relatives, my well-wishers, my mentor. I have to listen to a lot of people. All of them will tell different things. Let me write down everything and put my marks. I value this person, whatever he says, no value, zero. But still I will hear because he is my guardian, he is my father, he is paying me, I should listen to him. Write it down. But this is my mentor who knows the world. He is not paying me. Mentor is not paying the mentee. The food comes from somebody else. So I have got only, I can give suggestion. Tomorrow onwards, he can disconnect my phone. He can disconnect my internet.
Yeah.
Still he can survive. But to father and mother, brother, sister, wife, husband, they will have to live together. They may not know the world, but you are supposed to live with them. So give an evaluation. That is what I am saying. Weighted average, weight matrix. Give number 0 to 10. How much I listen to him? How much I will not listen to him? When I am going to listen up to this age, I may have a nursery, kindergarten, high school teacher. During that time, I should listen to him. I should know when should I cut that relationship. I should not listen to my school teacher throughout my life. Because after some time, I am doing my PhD. My MBA teacher is only there for few years. I can take his suggestion, but he has not experienced in running a business. I am running a business now. I should stop him, start looking at somebody who can guide me in that. So always you should, every time we don't go to the primary doctor. When we have a disease, we go to specialist. From there, we go to the next specialist. Similarly, in life, don't expect your early age up to 3 years. Somebody taught me, let me take him as my guide. No, you can always change your teachers. Your parents are supposed to feed you and they have taken care of you. When you grow up, you should have some other company who will become your mentor. So change, decision has to be changed. Up to my graduation, these are my teachers. I will listen to them. My masters, I got somebody better than that. Now there are a lot of lecturers. Which subject I want to do my PhD? I am going to listen and identify one person who will guide me for my doctorate. Don't we do this? So identify mentor who is beside you. Always I keep saying, when I take somebody, I keep saying, don't lifelong, don't be with me. I am only helping you from this place to go to the next place. From there, you identify your own people who may be a better expert, your specialization. I am not a businessman, but my students have become business people. I cannot teach you how to do business because I am not experienced in business. But what are the theory required to understand, run a business? 5M principle I taught. That doesn't mean that I run the business. I know the basic theory. Now you want to do in service industry, you want to do transport, you go to somebody who have earned money, read, look at the biography. These are all the people, listen to them, see the documentary, learn from them, get to that. Every time we should hand over to specialists. That's what I do. I don't keep anybody totally saying that you are, no, always be with me. No, that's not correct. They have to grow. All business people, all of them have taken different mentors at different point of time. Successful people have got different people at different point of time. Otherwise, you will become devastated after some time. Oh, this man is lost. What do I do now? No, you have to stand on your own leg. So write down the milestones in life. Plan for next 30 years. Plan for next 20 years. Plan for next 10 years. Plan for next 1 year. Plan for next 3 months. These are all my goals and aims. When somebody joins for now graduation, I keep saying open university, millions of programs. Best university in the world. You are studying in a small village. But your world on the internet is, you can study in Cambridge, you can study in MIT, you can study in any university. Don't pay money. Do it free. Don't get certificate. If they ask you money for certificates, you say, I don't want certificate, I want knowledge. There are a lot of universities, they give free courses, but only when you need a certificate, they will ask you money. Think whether the certificate is worth, then you take it. Otherwise, take free courses. There are a lot of free courses available. There are a lot of free lectures available. Do all that. So you are not stopped by your small village situation. You have to get connected to the internet. I'm so happy. You look at DrTPS Pakistan. Pakistan is another country. Many children from 7th grade onwards, they keep interviewing me. Interview is one of the best method of knowing people, knowing culture, identifying my path in my life. That has to be a great culture. When I talk to somebody, they have a lot of questions. How did you become a space scientist? You should see tomorrow somebody else and ask, how did you become an astronomer? You ask a film star, how did you become a film star? Tomorrow you go to a politician, ask, how did you become a politician? Ask a lot of questions like this. And then identify, oh, this is what I also want to be in my life. Change your course, correct your course, write down. From today onwards, next 6 months, I am going to learn at least the life story of not the traditional historical people who are living today, who are leaders. The youngsters, I keep saying, all youngsters should follow what is happening in Pakistan now. The children keep on interviewing. They learn from the others' experience and then plan your life. That is what is essential.
Very important. Very important. Thank you so much for answering that question. It's very important that I've written some things down which I'm going to be using as well, because sometimes they just have a dream. They have a dream. Yes, everybody has a dream, and then they are so ambitious about that, and they say, yes, I want to do this. Another thing is they have a dream. They plan themselves, and then they're distracted. That's another word. They are distracted because other people are doing something and they see them flourishing. And I'm thinking, what I've planned, is it going to make me like that person? So they look outside there. It's like they are being attracted with other people. And then they will say, oh, maybe if I just abandon my dream and then follow that footstep of that person or do exactly what that person, maybe I can be earning money the way the person. So that is also another problem with them. So they're not patient enough to see. I mean, I always use one illustration. Farmer. Because I love to use farmer as an illustration. They plant a seed. The seed is not going to grow overnight. So while they are waiting, they have to clear up the place, do the wheat. Is it wheat they call it? That they try to till out all the unnecessary things around what they've planted. They water it. So they have to do that consistently for many times, sometimes months or weeks. Even sometimes, if it is like something else like BAM, they have to prepare, they have to plant, they have to seed, they have to water it and wait. After they've done that again, they need to wait for a while the thing is growing, because the person and the seed have to grow from inside the soil before shooting out. So it takes a lot of waiting. So while it's now bringing out again, you want to visit the place and nurture what has been growing. I don't know much about farming, but I'm learning. You have to water it.
I have to add a little here. Where patience is required, I'll tell you.
Yes.
I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. My father was a farmer.
Thank you.
I also do farming.
Exactly. You can say it better than me.
You look at farming, Dr. TPS, you will see beautiful. I'll send you one small video.
Okay.
You have to see that. Where patience is required. Assume I planted a seed. Every day I take it out and say whether it is growing or not. The seed will not grow.
I always use that
Understood?
illustration. I said you have to wait
Understood?
and wait.
This is one of the greatest thing. I put the seed inside, but
Yes.
every day morning
You
I
take
will
it
look at
out
it
and
whether it
look
is
it. Are you
growing
growing?
or not. It will never grow. Number one. Number two, I have
Yes,
got
sir.
a beautiful a creeper. A creeper which has got a creeper. I have seen the creeper. I put a thread on which it has to grow. The creeper grows. You know how difficult it is for a creeper to get it. It gets winded here, right? The creeper winds here. I don't know how many people have seen. I have done it. I kept a camera 8 hours to see how the creeper is growing. What the reaper does? Reaper goes, looks at 360-degree. Where is my rock? Where I can catch? And by the time it caught, little bit only it could catch. It doesn't grow. You cannot make it too round. It is took just like this. That time a heavy wind came, it got out. And by the time from morning 8 o'clock I kept, it was 10:30. The hot sun comes. The the small plant which is growing became tired. It slept off. Have you seen this? The small plants also sleep.
Yes.
They become so tired.
Yes.
And I gave water. It grew up. By evening, when the sunlight is little better, it went again and started catching. Next day morning, when I saw, yeah, it has got. It does a 360-degree searching. Every one of us should have this 360-degree of searching in life.
Yes.
Look at everything around me and see where should I grow, how should I grow, who will give me a hand, who will support me. It's very, very essential.
Very essential. So I think it's the best illustration. And that is what I always use for some of my mentees.
And sometime what happens is I give another example. There is a big rock. I've got a hammer to hit so that it breaks. And I hit so many times it is not breaking. I leave it there and go. And another gentleman comes and hits once. It broke. It is not because of one hit it broke. The other fellow tried many times. So it made a lot of cracks inside.
Yes.
You should have patience. Once you don't have patience, you keep hitting, after some time you leave, the other man will come and hit once. This is what happens in marketing.
Yeah. Very important. Very, yes, it's true.
I am trying to sell a tea powder. I come to my sister and say tea is very good, very good. You have not purchased for 1 month. I lost interest, I go. But you are almost to decide to buy. This person is not in contact because I went 3 times. This lady is not responding. I don't want to sell it to her and finished. The other person comes with the tea powder. Immediately you will buy. Correct.
And that is persistent. Yeah. Exactly.
You should have consistency. You should have perseverance, patience, tolerance. Every child has.
Yes.
Assume we were all small children. When we get some item like this, we go behind it, grab it. And what the parents will do, they pull it little so that the child will move. Again pull it, the child will move. Again pull, the child will move. I have not seen a child when in the younger age, this I am not going to get it, let me not leave it, have it, leave and go. No. They are behind. We are all behind something for in the childhood.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give it because the child will spoil this remote. I'll put it in the pocket. Then I will give something else. Child is still happy. As we grow, what happens? Once I try, I don't get, I say, it's not mine. Let me not look at it. We don't have patience. We lost patience as we grow. Children, as babies, we had a lot of patience. Many times we have fallen. Then only we learned how to walk.
And they never give up. And they never give up. They fall down today.
By one times, 2 times we have fallen and we should have given up. We will never learn how to walk. So we learned for learned walking because we have fallen many times.
Yes.
And we had the patience.
Mm.
Until I walk, I am not going to leave.
Wow. Wow.
But today, when we fail in one exam, we say that this is not my cup of tea, let me change my business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct? It shouldn't happen. I should have patience.
Patience
Let me
that
look at once again. Let me look at twice. Let me look at thrice. This is where you should talk to people who are experienced people, interview them,
yeah.
learn from their experience, learn from their failures. Understand when somebody is, you are, I am not quoting in any of my lecture, I don't quote successful people.
Mm.
The reason is when I quote a successful person, every youngster think that I can also become successful if I fail in my childhood.
Mm. Mm.
Not everybody has become successful after failing also. They have tolerance, they have consistency, they have tried many times. That is more important. That
Amazing.
is more important to tell that I'm a college dropout, I became CEO of this company. That means every college dropout will not become. After that, they have worked very hard, they had patience, they have moved to a path. They had a lot of problems in life.
Mm.
Listen to them carefully, understand their life.
Okay.
Very, very
Amazing.
essential to talk to people, realize their experience, share. When we are in a buffet, lot of items are kept. I go and taste little bit from every place, and then I decide second counter, this food is very good, let me go and have it. First, I should taste different varieties. Nobody in a buffet goes to the first counter, keep eating and fill our tummy. We don't do that. We taste everything. A good eater is one who tastes everything and then identify which counter I have to go second time, which is my most favorite. I must taste.
Mm.
I must taste everything in my life. For which you have to interview a lot of people so that you will not go one path long time and waste the time
Yeah.
and then identify somebody else.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Mm. Ideas. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, it's very, very important that we really look into this patience, tolerance. I like it when you say something like, you use the rock, for example, and also we can use the steel, like this. You are breaking it, you are breaking it, you are breaking it. When you are breaking it, you are lessening you are penetrating into that thing gradually, gradually. And then once you're about to finish, you just say, oh, no, I can't be bothered anymore. You left it. Where you are, where you left it, and a person come with it, yes, I'm the magic one, let me do it once. But you've already started the journey. You've already started it for him to complete. But because of impatience, you couldn't wait to see the result. You moved on. Then he come, Shara, Superman, boom. Then he go. I like that illustration again. Okay, so we need to move on now. Thank you so much, Professor TPS. Anytime you come in, I'm still saying probably we have to plan ahead. It will be a stage so that you will take a whole day.
You
I'm
can ask a lot
planning
of.
it. I'm
You should ask.
planning something. We are planning some things, but we just want to see how it will work. Like for example, you've given us another idea of interviewing, which that's
That is
another.
one of the
And
best
I
thing.
think
Yeah.
Dr. Betty is doing something similar to what you've just said in the USA. I think so. Maybe she can enlighten us because I think because she's been in the she's retired from USA Army, and then she's experienced a lot, and then now she's bringing people together. I think that I would like her, because she will be the next speaker, I would like her to just touch on that, what she's doing, because I think she's also doing, maybe that's one thing Yes You Can International need to also add to their program, but we will see how it will work, because I read a lot of books, but our generation now, for them to read a book, you have to work hard to motivate them. But then if you do something formal like what Professor Tifite say, like bringing them to come and share the story. Because I'll tell you something, the story of Les Brown, inspired me to do more. I'm doing the story of Oprah Winfrey. When I listen to their interviews, when I read their books, when I see that they are shining there, but that's not behind their story. That is not there are a lot of stories behind their gains. And I'm thinking, I'm interested in that. I'm attracted to their story, their pains more than what they are gaining now. It's good for them to, everything. But then how did they get there? Is the question. I mean, nobody will come and tell me that I've never made mistake before. I have never experienced anything before. Because that is the wisdom. The experience is the wisdom. That yes, I've been there. I've gone through it. You don't have to go through it. So let me give you my wisdom. So, but let me just go stop on that way, and I say on behalf of YYCI International and YYCI International Academy, I want to say, we want to say thank you, sir, for your time spent with us all
Dr.
the
Betty
time.
has something to say. Dr. Betty has something to say.
But Dr. Betty, before, do you have something to say to? Yeah, because she is the next speaker. But if you want to quickly say something, response to Dr. TPS, that would be great.
I was prepared for. I admire him so much, but I wanted to just comment on. You said you mentioned that how his speaking is so elevated, and how would it relate to some of our youth, and how they could perhaps benefit from that, because he is such a scholar, and everything he said comes from, as he mentioned before, that the information has been here before, but he's just reiterated it, and everything he mentioned comes from the Bible, basic information before leaving Earth. You have to train children up today where we are. We can't train them up at their level because we are constantly evolving. So if you look at the average child today, they are already an expert in social media. They have their own cell phones. They're just doing things that adults are doing anyway. So if you go, you try to train them at their level, they're not going to retain as much at that level. I see some of the most amazing kids, and we have conversations, and I'm thinking, wow, how old are you again? I'm 5 or, or I'm 4. So it's so important that we take the games and take away a lot of the programs that are out there, and bring programs such as this to a child so they can be intrigued. I'm intrigued by Dr. TBS's beard, his and the wisdom is just written all over his face. So I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he's been around for a while, and he talks about being systematic. You know that's even in the Bible. I don't know if it says being systematic, but we have to write a plan no matter what we're doing. The word tells us to make a plan, write a plan, make it clear. There's so much in the Bible about planning. I'm guilty of, if someone says, "Oh, I'll come over for dinner and I should be there around 6," and I'll wait until 6:15 to start dinner, because I know that person is not going to get here until 6:30 or a quarter of 7. So it's just so amazing
Amazing.
how he speaks, and it's so relevant to the information that we receive every Sunday or Saturday or whatever day we choose to have our spiritual day. And I just love it. I can relate
Thank
to
you.
it all. I'm
Thank you.
taking notes like you, Queen. And I said, oh, I'm going to use this. I'm using this, and our mindset. He talked about being here when you come on. Don't just leave. I just, like I said, our mindset is definitely being being in the mindful stage. But some of us, we do have other things going on in our life. So I love how he kind of spanked us also for saying, don't leave. I was here this morning earlier, but I had a crisis. It wasn't my crisis. It was one of you things that men normally do. They get out of the car and leave their key in the car, and like, oh, I left the car, and not only did I l- go get a cup of coffee, but the car is still running and my keys are inside. So, of course, my topic is on leaders handling crisis, but I just appreciate you, sir. And thank you. That's what I wanted to say to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Betty Speak. Even though you are still going to speak as well, and our next speaker is also around as well after your own speaking. But then I will not stop by Dr. Stephen Cameron not to to comment quickly on Professor TPS speech. Dr. Stephen Cameron.
Thank you so much, my dear Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas, for giving me this opportunity to comment on Dr. TPS' amazing presentation on patience and tolerance. So, thank you so much for enlightening lecture on patience and tolerance. Our very honorable Dr. TPS, your ability to convey the importance of these qualities, that is, patience and tolerance, provide actionable strategies also was both inspiring and practical. So I greatly appreciate your thoughtful insights and the engaging manner in which you presented it. And your expertise offered me, valuable tools to improve my interactions and my personal growth, particularly by adopting patience and tolerance. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Cameron. I will also like Dr. Samina Evelyn to quickly comment before we move on. Dr. Samina Evelyn.
Thank you so much for giving me chance, and I appreciate Dr. TPS. He has given many practical examples in his presentation that there are many people in our life. We have to listen our father, mother, wife, school teachers, mentors, and many other business people. But according to our plan and work, we go to people and consult people different in different situations. And if the disease is simple, we go to ordinary doctor. But when the disease is serious, we have to go to specialist for the treatment. So it is a very important example, and I appreciate that because our mental level is different, experience is different, our goals are
Yes.
different, and
Yes.
plans are different. So we have to do according to our strength. We have to struggle according to our, and we all have to tolerate and patience and to achieve our dreams. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Samina. I believe Dr. TPS has been encouraged or praised or honored for the in-depth teaching that is shared with us today. We really appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you, Dr. Samina, our matron from Pakistan. Thank you, ma'am, for your contribution, for willingness to be learning, and we keep learning. If Dr. Samina is still learning, why should I stop learning? That is another thing. So I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. We want to stop Professor
Recording
TPS
stopped.
recording.